Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you another inspirational video. I hope you are well and I hope you are having an amazing day, week, month and year. So I was shared, this that I'm about to share with you was shared with me a couple of days ago, and I just thought it was so profound. It was simple but yet so profound. And it's really just things that we all need to be reminded of on a regular basis, because life is so busy and life is so crazy, and we all tend to get sort of pulled off our track, if I can put it that way. So what I want to share with you today is 8 lessons that we all need to learn in life. Just 8. It's not a lot. So I'm going to take you through them. I have got a little bit of a write-up which I'm going to take you through, and hopefully this is going to help you to just sort of get your life back on track, to sort of remain on track if you are already on track, and just to keep you motivated and moving in the right direction. So let's get started. Right, so let's go through the 8 lessons that we all need to learn in life. So lesson number 1 is to embrace the journey. I mean, it's as simple as that, isn't it? Just to embrace the journey. You know, most of our life is spent in the journey. The journey is from when you are born until the day you are die, before and after as well. But it's not about a single event. It's not about a single situation or a single circumstance that happens. It's not about a single interaction or anything. It's about the whole experience that we have, and we need to embrace this journey. You know, life is precious and every day is not guaranteed. This is the big thing, is that we have to understand we don't know when our exit is. We don't know when our experience on earth is done. So make the most of every single day that you have. Do not leave any stone unturned, if I can put it that way. Just experience and appreciate and enjoy and embrace the journey that life has to go for you. You know, if you put all your happiness into the destination, the end goal, the final experience, you're going to be very disappointed when you get there, because it's more about the experience of arriving or getting to your goal than it is about the goal itself. So this goes for your you know, your physical changes as well, your physical person, your physical being, if I could call it that way, your financial self, your emotional self, your relationships, all of these interactions that we have with different people, different circumstances in our life, they all matter, but not as a single goal or as a single event, but as the journey of life itself. Because that's where the real magic happens, isn't it? So acknowledge where you are in your life, recognize the stage that you are in your life, and then give yourself permission to just really be in that moment. Not because, you know, I hear from clients all the time where they say things like, oh, you know what, when I get that job, I'll be happy. When my finances improve, I'll be happy. When my health improves, I will be, you know, more motivated to do something. Or once I've lost a bit of weight, I will then start exercising. Everything that we do is very conditional. So what that means is that we're not actually living in the now. It means that we're saying only when these things happen, only then will we be in a position to live life. So lesson number 1 that we all need to learn is to embrace the journey, embrace the here and the now. Stop worrying about the past, because it's done, and stop worrying about the future. It's not done. Focus on the today. Embrace the journey of life in all its good and its bad, because that is where the magic lies. Right. Lesson number 2 is to take that leap. You know, this is important. You know, it's something we don't do enough. We're also afraid of doing something wrong. We're so afraid of coloring outside the lines. We're so afraid of judgments, if I can put it that way. And sometimes we just need to take that leap. So if you spend too much time thinking about what if, you know, if you spend too much time thinking about the what ifs of life, you're going to delay the action, which means you may not ever actually get there. So none of us can predict what the future holds. True story, we can't. We can give probability based on a series of events. And I say that as myself, as a psychic. You know, when I consult with clients, I'm not predicting the future. I'm saying, if you take these steps, if you move in this direction, this is a potential likely outcome for you. But at any point in that journey, you have choice to say, well, actually, I don't want to go that way. I want to go in a completely different way, which means your experiences, your predictions will not be relevant and valid anymore. So we can't predict what the future holds, no matter what the outcome is. But you need to have confidence in yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. If you're so afraid of a potential pitfall, if you're afraid of something that may go wrong, you're actually putting that into the universe, and you're never going to live the life that you are meant to live. So we need to take that leap. Okay, so often the hardest part is letting go of expectation of how things will turn out. So you've got to let go of this trap of perfection. You've got to let go of this need to always have everything perfect, because it's never going to be. What is perfect is when you take that leap of faith, when you just embrace whatever life has whatever life puts in your path, and just live to your best. That's the only thing that you need to do. But if you don't take that first step, if you don't take that leap, you're going to spend your whole life thinking, oh, I'm waiting for the right moment, I'm waiting for the right opportunity, and it may never come. And then it's an entire lifetime wasted. And then, friends, you will reincarnate, you will come back into earth, and you will have to go through all these experiences again. So rather just take that leap, embrace the journey, live the life that you need to live, and know that everything's going to be fantastic. Right, let's move on to lesson number 3. So lesson number 3 is to be intentional. I love that. I live my life with intent. To be intentional and to live powerfully. So powerfully is not talking about muscles, and it's not talking about fancy bank accounts. It's just talking about, first of all, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. What does it mean when we talk about being intentional? So setting intention, I intend to have a good time. I intend to appreciate the connection, the relationship that I have with other people. I intend to have 5 minutes of peace. I intend to really enjoy my next cup of coffee. When you set intention, you are almost setting a precedence. You're almost setting an expectation. And it's almost like you're giving yourself permission to participate and to engage in a situation. Powerfully means with no doubt, okay? We as human beings, we're all living our lives with so much doubt, so much judgment, so much fear, and so much insecurity. We have no power. We have given our power away to a situation, a person, or a circumstance that is probably not serving us any good, okay? So the little notes that I have, it says, with your time, with your money, and with your actions. So be intentional and live powerfully with your time, your money, and your actions. With your training program, with your nutrition plan, which people you choose to bring into your life, seek and find the why behind everything. You know, this is so true. I again, in my consults with clients, I often say to them, you know, why are you still friends with that person? Why are you still working in that job? Why are you still doing those things? Because they're unhappy doing it. They're miserable doing it, okay? They hate the people in their lives. They hate their jobs. They hate the things that they do, but yet they rock up and do it every day because they fear the alternative, because they haven't given themselves a chance to actually live beyond their current circumstance, okay? So you need to seek and ask yourself the question, why? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are you allowing the circumstances that you are allowing in your life? Be present, refine your skills, choose to respond versus react. So react is when something happens and you're immediately on the defensive. That is a reaction. Respond is watch, observe, think, process, analyze, and then choose how to react, respond. And you need to also expand your thoughts in your comfort zone. So increase your focus on creating the experience rather than letting things happen to you. So friends, lesson number 3, to be intentional and live powerfully. Do not give your power away to anybody. Make sure that the things that you are doing are the things that you intended to do, are the things that you want to do, and are the things that are relevant to you. All right, let's go on to lesson number 4. So lesson number 4, discipline equals freedom. I mean, let's just absorb that for a brief second. Discipline equals freedom. Now, when I hear the word discipline, I immediately feel controlled. I feel trapped. I feel like I'm doing what somebody else wants me to do. Freedom is like the complete opposite of that. So this particular lesson is like, I immediately, my initial human gut reaction is like, I don't understand it. But let's go through again the little notes that I have. So be afraid of failure. Of course, nobody wants to fail. So we need to be afraid of failure. The only person that you can control is you. So focus on making yourself who you want to be. Faster, stronger, smarter, more humble, less ego. Act according to your values and your goals. So discipline means taking the hard road, okay? The uphill road, the one we don't like to take. That is what discipline means. To do what is right for you and for others so that you can achieve the greatness that you have envisioned for yourself. So when we talk about discipline equals freedom, this is not discipline as to what you are being told to do, but it's discipline as to what you have decided for yourself. Okay, so it's about you setting your goals. It's about you deciding what you want to achieve. It's about you being powerful with intention. And then once you've got your plan, it's about being disciplined enough to stick with it, to not deviate from it, to not allow anybody else to pull you away, to not allow anybody else to tell you, no, that's not what you should be focusing on. You should be focusing on something different. So discipline equals freedom. If you stick to your plans, if you are committed, loyal, if you work with power, with intention on your plans, that will give you freedom, because you will suddenly have all these wonderful experiences. You will feel so much better, you will feel so much stronger, and you will accomplish so much more than what you need to. So that is your path to freedom, my friends. That is your path to freedom. Right, let's go on to lesson number 5. So lesson number 5, and this is something, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, this is something that I speak about a lot. You are your thoughts. Whatever happens here manifests and creates your reality. But just to go through my notes, I've got a little poem here, a little write-up I've written from Gandhi. So Gandhi says, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. Let me say that again. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. That is, like, to me, so powerful. So powerful. And we have to understand that if you're having thoughts of insecurity, doubt, of fear, of anything on a negative, that is exactly what you are manifesting and creating for yourself in this world. So we have to be very aware of what's happening in our minds. We have to be very conscious of our thoughts. What do you do, though, when you have a bad thought? I mean, what do you do when you recognize the fear and the stress and the anxiety that's going on in your head? Because you've already had the thought. It's already manifested. It's already, happened in your mind. So at that point, all you do is stop. Consciously stop the thinking, stop the self-doubt, the pity, the beating yourself up over it, and immediately change it. Change it into something more positive, with gusto, with passion, with intention, with power. And if you do that, you will immediately reverse any kind of path that you have already mapped out for yourself. Okay, so I have to giggle because, again, in the notes it says excuses only sound good to the person who's making them. I mean, I just love that. When we come up with excuses as to why we can't do a thing, it sounds good to us, but to everybody who listens to us, they can see right through those excuses. Okay, so the only way to truly become the person you want to be is by acting the way that you need to act, and start right now. Right now, start. Your thoughts control your body, and your body reciprocally controls your thoughts. So if you're feeling sad, try putting a smile on your face, okay? Even if it's the last thing you actually want to do. So fake a smile and feel how your body starts to respond to that, how your body starts to feel lighter. And sometimes a change in your physical state is all that it takes to create a change in the mental state. So smile more, laugh more, and don't take life too seriously. Recognize that you are your thoughts. I am somebody who is very quick to react and very quick to respond, not always in a positive light. So what I've learned to do is, when I feel this building up of emotion inside me, I immediately get up and go for a walk. Just like around the garden, I'll go to the kitchen and pour a glass of water and just drink a glass of water. Just doing something like that immediately just snaps you out of your thinking, snaps you out of your thought process, and frees you from getting sucked into that negativity. So you are your thoughts. Pay attention to what's going on here. React and respond as soon as you notice the negative, and you will be absolutely okay. Right, let's move on to lesson number 6. So life lesson number 6. Failure only comes if you quit. You know, trying is not failure. You know, putting energy into attempting something is not failure. Not putting energy into attempting something is failure. So failure only comes if you quit. Failure only comes if you don't try. So failure only comes if you quit. Otherwise, it just gives you lessons and perspectives for new opportunities. So life is too short not to take those chances, not to take that leap. So every experience is an opportunity for you to learn and to be better the next time around. We only truly fail when we decide to give up instead of finding another way to reach our goals and to reach our solutions. So time cures all, and you will live with much less regret by trying and failing and by never trying at all. So do not take no for an answer, especially when it comes to your goals and dreams. And if things don't work out the way that you had intended them to, it's okay. Ask yourself why. Why didn't things work out the way you wanted or way you had expected? And what can you do differently next time? One thing, I see in so many people is that when things don't work out, they do try a second time, a third time, a fourth time, even a fifth time, but they don't change the recipe. They don't change the process. They don't change the method behind their actions. So that every time they try again, they keep coming up with the same result. So failure only comes if you quit. But what happens is if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, eventually you are going to quit, because you eventually realize, you know what, I've done this 8 times and I'm getting the same outcome. So it's just obviously never going to work. I quit. But if you did it 8 times, but you changed one thing, one action, one behavior, one thought process every time, there is no ways that you will get that far and not have succeeded. So failure only comes if you quit, or if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again in the same way and expecting different results. Let's move on to life lesson number 8. 7, my bad, 7. Yeah, easier said than done. Life lesson number 7 is to trust your intuition. And as I say, this is definitely easier said than done. So when something feels off, friends, it invariably is. If you go into an experience and you've got this little nagging feeling that, oh, it's not right, it doesn't feel right, something about this doesn't feel good, and yet we still barge in there, and then when it doesn't work out, we're like so disappointed, so shocked and so upset that, oh, it didn't work out. You've got to learn to start trusting your intuition, because if something feels off, there's a strong chance it is off, okay? So be in or be out. Do it or don't do it. Let your yes be yes, or let your no be no. Again, allow your intuition to guide you here. So be 100% in a relationship, 100% in the job, in your travels, in your decisions, in your actions, in your behaviors. Do something with 100%. Don't do it with 40% because I'm not so sure. Therefore, I'm only going to do a little bit because I'm not so sure. That's not how we live life, friends. That is not what life is all about. We all have that little voice inside of us that is telling us what we should be doing. Don't be afraid to listen to it. I know there is concern that sometimes that little voice is not a positive, and that little voice is sometimes trying to lead you astray. I get that. And yes, that is a reality, that yes, that sometimes that happens. But when you start listening to your intuition, when you start trusting your intuition, you will learn how to distinguish the difference between the good voice and the bad voice. But if you're not paying your intuition any attention, how will you ever know the difference? And if you're living life by only engaging 40% because you're not sure if it's the right thing, you're only ever going to be 40% happy. And I don't know about you, but I'm not settling for 40%. I am not settling for 40%, and I really hope you're not either. Okay, life lesson number 8, the last and final life lesson. Probably the most important one. Never, and I mean that, friends, never compromise on yourself. Never compromise on yourself. So your integrity is the thread of your existence. Live according to your values, nobody else's, and do what you know in your heart to be right. Never compromise on yourself. If you are in an environment with people, if you are in a situation, I'm going to call it a work environment, okay? So you're working for an organization and everybody in the organization is doing wrong. Does that mean you must do wrong? Does that mean you must follow in their footsteps? Does that mean that you must participate in the bad, wrong, negative experience? Of course not. If it goes against your values, if it feels wrong to you, don't compromise yourself in it. Rather walk away from the job and find one that doesn't make you compromise on yourself, because it's not worth it. It's truly and utterly not worth it. Okay, so don't let the judgment of others stop you from speaking out or doing what you need to do. So in the end, your word, your follow through, and your perseverance when things are tough is what matters the most. So friends, let's just do a quick recap of our 8 lessons that we all need to learn in life. So here we have it, the 8 lessons to learn in life. Number 1, to embrace the journey. Number 2, to take that leap. Number 3, to be intentional and to live powerfully. Number 4, discipline equals freedom. Number 5, you are your thoughts. Number 6, failure only comes if you quit. And number 7, trust your intuition. And number 8, never compromise on yourself. Friends, come back to this as often as you need to. I do hope that this just, again, gives you the power, the potential to just be a better version of yourself, to just create healthy boundaries and to recognize what is significant, what is important, and what isn't. Sending you all much love and many blessings. And until we connect again, take care.